Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It's approximately 10:20 in Honolulu, 4:20 in New York. It is Tuesday, September the 20th, 2016, and we are looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing in essence unchanged, slightly higher on the day, bidding up almost 10 points at 18,129. Of course, traders and investors are awaiting with bated breath what will happen tomorrow when any kind of announcement comes out from this month's FOMC meeting, as well as the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, also scheduled to make a policy announcement tomorrow. Now, S&P 500, this is the actual index itself at 2139.75. And again, in essence, unchanged on the day. And then lastly, in terms of equities that we look at is the NASDAQ. Again, in essence, unchanged at 47.98. I expect to see this market trade quietly, of course, until information comes out as to the decisions made by both the Bank of Japan as well as the Federal Reserve at this most current FOMC meeting. Crude light, in essence, unchanged today. As you can see, 43.44. And lastly, the dollar index, dollar slightly higher, but in essence unchanged. These are fractional changes at best. As I said, the market is really waiting with bated breath to find out what the Fed has to say, what their decision is tomorrow. So traders, the basic question that is on everybody's mind is whether or not this is the quiet before the storm, or the quiet before the quiet. In other words, whether we see tomorrow's activity as a non-event. I personally think not, but one thing that we can say is that we have had a diminishing of market range over the last couple of days as this day comes closer to FOMC meetings minutes released tomorrow, as well as a statement being made. You can also see that on the upside, we have had a series of lower highs. And whenever you have lower highs and higher lows, of course, you're getting some sort of compression of range, which is absolutely what we're getting. We are approaching the apex of this. And so it would not surprise me to see this market break one way or the other, depending on the announcement. Now, the fact of the matter is that according to FedWatch, the percentage likelihood that there will be a rate hike tomorrow is anywhere between 12 and 15%, a nominal amount, which in the reciprocal or reverse means that there's an 85% probability that there will not be a rate hike tomorrow. One of the primary reasons we put on a long position in gold and silver for the gold forecast, but as far as the markets we're looking at in trending markets, we could see the market really break to the upside if, in fact, the announcement comes out that is favorable for the stock market. And, of course, the stock market looks for cheap money and a plentiful money supply to keep that engine going. So rate hikes being consistent or not changing would be, I believe, bullish for the U.S. equities markets. So, traders, we're looking at a daily chart, U.S. dollar index, and on this daily chart, I've compressed it highly to have the look or feel almost of a weekly in terms of the amount of bars or candles that are being held, because, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, we can absolutely see a support angle here and then a tighter slope as it started to trade really at the beginning of August. Now, we have currently had this market hit a little bit of resistance up at around 96. And here's what's interesting. Let me draw my arrow across and kind of line it up. When we look at this particular price point, this area of 96, we can see that historically speaking, in terms of different areas that we have really seen this market find resistance, we can see a couple of different areas here. It's a supportive area right in here. Here it's resistance. We come in, not too much can be said here, but absolutely resistance here, just above resistance and resistance. So we do have a lot of historical data that tells us that on a technical basis, this is a level that if it does break through, it could head a lot higher. And when I say higher, to about 97.50. However, depending on the announcement that's made by the Fed tomorrow, if in fact rates remain the same, we could see a little weakness come in and we could see this market dip back to lower ground. We'll have to wait to see what happens tomorrow. This is going to really be a shortened edition, as most of the markets that we follow in trending markets are really awaiting tomorrow's news. Tomorrow, I believe, will promise to bring some real fireworks. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another Trending Markets. Bye-bye.